Welcome, welcome, shorties. Can you hear me? We are live. Thank you so much for being here. Going to have an amazing chat with Nurse Kim. Hopefully, she's not backstage yet, but hopefully. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes? Give me some thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me, please. Yes, yes, yes. Great, fantastic. Okay, well, welcome. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Ernie or Aaron. Hi, Sonia. Sarah. Amazing. So, fingers crossed for no robot today. I have ordered some cables. Turns out I need to hardwire my basically StreamYard's it uses too much internet, too much Wi-Fi to run it through Wi-Fi. So I need to hardwire my iPad that I'm going to run the back end off straight into my modem. It's not actually called a modem, but same. And thanks, Angela. Aussie accent for the win, right? So hey, Jess. Hey, Taryn. Hey, Miss Love. So basically I troubleshooted this with our friend Aussie Insider through the week. Went to Officeworks yesterday to hopefully get the appropriate adapters and cables, and they were like, you're better off just ordering it on Amazon. So I've ordered on Amazon. It won't arrive till later today. So here we are. What I'm doing is, please no robot, and hopefully please Nurse Kim. It's all confirmed, but she's not backstage yet. Anyway, I'm just running the whole thing through my phone. So like if I reach up to my phone, like, yay, thanks. I can do it. I can still do it all here. I just won't be able to type to you guys. That's the only thing. So I feel like maybe just one device will mean that my Wi-Fi can cope and no robot, but just basically pray for me, yo. Oh my goodness, perfect timing. Guess who's backstage? Eee! Yes. While you're here, make sure you've liked and subscribed. Obviously, you all didn't do that. But Nurse Kim's backstage. So why don't we get her on here so we can talk? We love Nurse Kim. I fangirl over Nurse Kim. I'm bringing it to the stage, madam. Oh, hi.
Hi, Miss Shorty.
Hello. Amazing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Chat.
Perfect.
Can we hear everybody equally?
Perfect.
Yes. Perfect. I was just explaining.
So sorry.
No. Trust me, spirit animal, me and time. It's just it's a theory that I sometimes subscribe to and other times not so much. So, last week I had some issues with some robot voices from me. It turns out that it was StreamYard is apparently too much, needs too much grunt to run through Wi-Fi completely. So today I've got some cables and stuff ordered, but today I'm going to try and just do the whole thing purely from my phone. Can we have a contingency plan that if suddenly I go robot, you just start talking? So what happened last week, it was so fantastic. I really enjoyed the whole experience. Last week, it was about every 5 or 10 minutes and it lasted for about 30 seconds. And Paul O'Keefe's crotch, who was my guest last week, yes, crotchy, he just handled it. I just stayed silent while the robot, because it was only on my talking. So I just said nothing until it passed, and then he just held the reins for me. So if we suddenly get robot, I think you guys hear it first, and you'll see in the chat, robot, just, I'm sure you can talk. I know you can talk.
Oh, that's one thing I can do, Miss Shorty. And also, I just wanted to say, every time I think about you, I swear to goodness, this should be your intro song because it is everything. So I don't know if you know it, and I shouldn't sing because I'm a nurse, right? So, but just bear with me. But Shorty, I'ma buy you a drink. Ooh, it used to be like a T-Pain song, and it's just every time I always think I'm gonna have a party with you. And he was a great rapper in the year of our Lord 2005. Okay, yes.
Yes, I am familiar with that one.
Oh.
And also, I go straight to the 50 Cent. Come, Shorty, it's your
It's your
birthday.
birthday. Oh, pardon, like that's even, oh, see, and that's why and that's why we were partying like it's your birthday tonight, babe. And I get
That's
it.
it. And then the last one, because my real world name is Lisa. So
Yes.
for me, the one that just gets me every time is Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday,
Birthday,
Lisa.
Lisa. Yes.
Sorry
Oh,
about
actually,
the
you
singing,
are a
guys.
good singer, though. You got a little bit of a voice there.
Mate.
Uh,
I like to think so. I think that I can sing Barbara Streisand and Celine Dion. I don't know whether anybody else thinks so, but I'm all right with it.
I love it. I love it.
So
Now, do you mind if people call, like, do you want to, I call you Miss Shorty. That's just because of
whatever
online.
whatever floats your boat, Miss
Okay.
Nurse. I when I set my Twitter account up, X, sorry,
Hmm.
I wasn't very familiar with any of it. And so I'm like, well, Twitter handle, yeah, well, I'll just do like my name and my birth year. That should be a good idea. So now I'm stuck with it as my following grows and my presence grows just by happenstance. So I and even so I'm cool with whatever. And one of my bylines, well, one of my like little slogans is like, come at me, bro. Like everything about me is who I am, my past, good and bad. Everything is out there. There's nothing to dox, so you can call me whatever you like.
And they have on X, they have called me every name. So I just am like, at first it used to actually hurt my feelings. Now I laugh about it, and we just have to, right? Because at the end of the day, you must be a very sad small individual if you want to come at somebody for having an opinion that's different than you on the World Wide Web, babe.
100%. And also, if all you've got is sort of base insults about someone's appearance or whatever, also like that's just like great. My very first live stream on my channel, I've done a few guest appearances, but my first one, I didn't quite have my lighting where I have my ring lights set up. So
Yeah.
I have rather voluptuous lips,
Yes.
and so
Gorgeous.
well, thank you. Not according to some, Nurse Kim. So I had one of my lights was down lower. And so it was casting a shadow like it was afterwards. I'm like, ugh, that's awkward. Because so it was making my top lip, it was like on one side in particular. And on in the comments on that first I did some clips from that first live stream, and the comments of like, what the fuck is with her lips? And I was like, you know what though? Lol to you, because just whatever. And where are your manners? But it doesn't bother me. Like they're my lips. Like
Yeah.
the cosmetic executive put like last time, which was 5 years ago, she put permanent filler in there, so I'm fucking stuck with them. I like they suited the purpose at the time. Trust me, Miss Kim. And so yes.
I love that. I
Like,
didn't even know though that they had like, okay, so listen, look at this. Ready? Okay, sorry, we're being girly girls right now. But so I am 38. I'm gonna be 39 in January. And like I've got to do it. You know what I mean? Like I've got to get hip. I got to get it because it's like offending me now. I'm offending myself. Okay. And I didn't know that you could even get like, I didn't know there was, and as a nurse, I probably, am shameful for not knowing this, but I didn't know you could get permanent filler in your lips.
Filler in Botox is like the body metabolizes it out of
Yeah.
the system. So Botox is permanent. Botox filler, yes. I don't think it's like forever permanent, but it's far more permanent than the Restylane and Juvederm, which last 6 or 9 months. Like it's literally been 5 years. And I've still got the same. I was so addicted to it, Nurse Kim. If I couldn't see my lips in my peripheral vision, it wasn't enough. So where I'm at now is quite subtle, to be honest.
No, well, I think listen, and also here's the thing is whatever makes you feel good, right? As women, I think that, whatever we would like to do. You know what I mean? Do it. And I think that it's gorgeous. I think it's beautiful. And if it makes you radiate, you know, and feel wonderful about what's already beautiful on the inside of you, babe, like keep them. Keep those big old lips. All right, pucker them up. Mwah, I love it.
I know of two separate people who are completely independent of each other, friends, not even like, you know, romantic or previous romantic interest, who have me saved as Lisa Lips in their phone. So, you know, they're quite prominent.
They are.
I'm like, I'm not offended. That's too funny. But no, as far as we'll get off the cosmetic injectables, but Botox is amazing. You do feel fresh and lovely, and it's a preventative, way better than creams and topical stuff, because it stops your face from making those shapes. So,
well, and we know I it's all in my face. Okay, if anything else, I cannot speak, but my face will say it all, and always has. And that would be, if I could just be a little bit more frozen, then, you know, people wouldn't have to say, fix your face, Kim, you know?
Oh, yes. It's a blessing and a curse, because you also can't express your consternation or fury when you can't frown at all. I can very much frown these days. So
I love it.
So what do you think today about the Colin Albert's latest fun times on film?
Yeah, I think that just as a parent, right? Like I look at it a little bit differently. And I remember, God forbid, thank God there wasn't actually really much except MySpace when I was his age, honestly. But you know, if there was cameras around me or availability for things to go on Snapchat, on, you know, private things that you think are going to your friends, but it finds its way to the World Wide Web, he needs a PR consultant. He needs a parent, and he needs somebody to kick his actual ass, okay? To say, you are not allowed, like, to do anything. I would take his phone, okay? And I'm sure he's not paying for it himself. He's on a family plan, all right? Chris and Julie are paying for it. So, you know, restrict him. Put a child restriction on that shit. No getting him to any social media sites. And I would only allow him to text 5 individuals. That was the worst. Like, that was almost as bad. The martinis with the mini slutty Sullivan sister, just slurping it back. I said, oh, this is beautiful. And then we're going to, you know, give the Canton salute. We're going to let everybody know that we're going to take them down. I'm like, what are you doing? Get your life together. What did you think?
Yes, all of the above and more. I think someone commented that it was lucky that he was using his good knuckle without the scarring and his left hand.
A southpaw, but I am too, so we can't. I'm a lefty too, so
am I, Nurse Kim. The best people are lefties.
We're the only ones in our right mind, babe. Okay.
We're also the only ones who smudge every greeting card we write and can't write in ring binders and can't use scissors or knives or. I mean, we can, but.
Yes. Yeah, no, definitely. Actually, I got really good though at my penmanship because I went to Catholic school, and then for nursing, we didn't even have computers when I became a nurse back in what felt like the 1800s, me and Florence Nightingale. We did everything, by hand on notes, and I still do my notes when I'm doing like trial coverage and I'm watching testimony. I still do it pen to paper. Is that obnoxious? I know.
Have you I know Emily D. Baker was the same as you. She writes everything, and while she's streaming, and so trials everything. But yeah. She just recently talked about, I think during the Murdoch trial, well, that wasn't recently, but got like a digital note taker. So she still writes, but it's into like a Kindle. It's not, it's a whole thing. I can't remember what they're called. I'll check it out and I'll let you know. And so you use a stylus or whatever. So, but you don't have that bulk of paper.
That's awesome. I mean, the binders that I have, Miss Shorty, you would be like, get a life, Kim, get a life, just from, writing and writing and writing everything. And then when I make TikToks, I have to, have like bullet points of what are we talking about here? And that would be a lifesaver. I wonder is it very expensive, or I don't know.
I'm not sure. From what I just put, it's called the Remarkable. Thanks, Taryn.
Ooh. Thank you, Taryn.
From what I understand, you have to have a subscription maybe for all the super duper features, but it's Google Remarkable on Amazon or whatever and see.
Totally.
But she raves about it, and there's a few different options out there, but I think maybe EDB used to take notes on her iPad or something, and she prefers the Remarkable because of the screen for her because she wears glasses all the time, like tinted glasses. So particularly you with specs also might be a good thing for you to. And yes, but it's exactly the same. It's just a digital handwritten note taking.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Look at us just exchanging the invaluable information with each other.
I mean, that's what we're here for. And everybody in the chat also.
Yes, thank you, our chat. Love your face.
Okay, Taryn just said she has to take notes and a Remarkable is fantastic. So there you go. Rave review from Taryn. She says yes. Oh, no, do not take away Nurse Kim's paper. I don't know if you...
Well, my people always see me with, because how unorganized and the chaos that I am, Miss Shorty. My life is organized chaos. It makes sense to me, but anyone else would be like, what are we doing? But they'll see when I'll have stacks, and I sometimes am doing, like, I'll be doing a video and I'll forget that I have the stack of papers, and they're like, look at your notes, Kim. And and I just have left it in the whole time in the video, and they laugh with me.
It makes you even more lovable and endearing.
Little quirk.
Yeah, I'd like to think that I take notes and that I'm prepared, but I'm the ultimate, I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. Let's just go for it. Like, I don't have any notes ever for any of my lives now. Like Nick, one of my brand new to being a moderator, Nick was asking me through the week, like, surely you've got like some dot points, some talking points, just something. I'm like, nope. So
that I will tell you is so impressive, though. Impressive that you are able to do that, Miss Shorty. Like, you're going to be able to go so far, because long form content to me is very uncomfortable. I move too much. People are like, is this woman all right? Because I'm always fidgeting. I'm always moving. I go on 17 paths to get to where we're going. We get there eventually. But you know, it's just, that's so impressive, because if I had you on with me, I would have to have try to keep me on track, not you.
I do. I'm sure yours is too. My brain is always going, like always. I liken what's going inside my head to being, in the circus acts with the poles and all the plates spinning on them. So you're running around spinning all the plates, keeping them all going. That's how my brain is all the time. And so I do and even when I used to study at like a postgraduate level, I've got most of a Master of Business and most of a Master of Health Science. But even then, I would do all of everything in my head when I was sleeping, like editing my assignments and things, and then go back in the next day when I was awake, excuse me, and make those edits and adjustments based on what I sort of had going on in the back end of my brain. So
Wow.
That's how I do what I don't do. I couldn't, if we had just said an hour ago, hey, let's go live. No, I need to have that lead up time, preparation time to get mentally all those plates spinning at the same rate, in the same sort of rhythm. So yeah, that's how it works for me. Oh, Auntie Bev's long size here. Sup, peasants? Auntie is here. Have you noticed that Auntie Bev and Grande, Grant, not the real one, the parrot. I'm sorry, you are the real one, Grandy. I love you, baby. Have been having some pretty epic Twitter
Absolutely. Some banter back and forth between the two. Yes.
Feel so sorry for the people whose original tweets they are, like, hijacked. Sorry, guys. But it's been kind of fun. So thank you for being here, Auntie. Oh, I'm sorry, Grandy. And I tell you, stay away from that skank. That LG, she's bad. Anyway, so Colin is really needing to rein it in. Not going to happen, though.
No. No, it's going to continue to spiral, in my humble opinion. And, you know, maybe that squeaky wheel, because he's got a lot that I think, you know, he has to carry, and it may just come out one way or another. And I think it will sooner than later.
His circle of parental mentors and role models is not amazing in terms of self-awareness and you know, thinking before one says or does anything.
Yeah, no impulse control in that family, married into it or born into it. And I think that you see that with the Jill Daniels situation specifically. I don't understand how she has continued to spiral as well, because Jill, go to Aruba. All right. I know that you and your elderly boyfriend have the ability to. You need to go relax. You need to go to, like, I don't know where, maybe to just a small retreat where there's only the woods so that you can go scream at a squirrel. But you need to calm down, ma'am, because you are unwell. Right? It appears to me, after Howie posted the police report from the shipwreck in Falmouth, and then I saw that Turtle Boy had responded, plus his incident down in downtown, you know, right outside of D&E / CF McCarthy's. It's just, it's unbelievable, in my opinion, the entitlement of this family, the lack of impulse control, and the inability to see public perception of their behavior. They only think about, like, themselves. It seems very like a selfishness of that they're persecuted and that everybody else is incorrect, in my opinion.
It's very much an interesting and dangerous mix of a group of absolute toxic narcissists, and they're so inbred, I guess, the small town or suburb thing, and then the likes attracting in terms of that circle of friends and family, and then once you're in that sort of pack mentality of what's acceptable and getting away with all of the things they've all gotten away with for so long, it's kind of the perfect storm, isn't it, for psychologically and socially.
Yes, that's 100% sums it up. And then, you know, if you throw in like a touch of, you know, maybe, and this is just speculation, you know, but like maybe clearly that there's a lot of things revolve around substance, you know, and alcohol. And when you are throwing that in the mix, there is also a fear, right, of just not being able to, even if you had your wits about you and you were not drinking, then maybe you could have made a different decision, but you are trying to maybe just drown that out, or that you don't want to deal. Your coping mechanisms should not be alcohol. And I'm saying that as a PSA to anyone that has a last name that we know in Canton, you know, like maybe try to walk. Okay. Go on a walk, go pet a corgi. I don't give a shit what you do, but you need to maybe stay away from a bottle for a while.
A bottle, etc. I feel like there's additional things in the mix there also. And it's very hard, even if there was someone in that sort of McAlbert's group who had some sort of conscience or feeling morality. It's pretty hard to speak out against such strong characters and such deeply entrenched behaviors, and you know, I think that it's just interesting to me that's never seemed to have happened. I guess you don't survive very long if you're a bit softy and a bit of an empath in those kind of groups.
Yes, and I think that that's nailing it right on the head, right, Ms. Shorty, is that it's a culture, and this culture has been built over what I feel as generations, right? And that the children are growing up with the same advantages and privileges of their parents, from, you know, having that protection. But then there are the Rita Lombardis, the Jen O'Donnells, the other women and men of Canton that are standing up and saying, no more. You know, like, we're not going to have to pay the price, and we're not treated equally. We are not protected under the law in their communities, and they don't feel comfortable in their own backyards at this point, right? Or their own front yards, because there's risk of harassment coming towards other citizens, not as it's been depicted in the media, as that the harassment only goes towards that clan, right? The Canton, those people are the ones that are persecuted, and you know, how dare Turtle Boy and everybody online is mean and bullies. No, it is the opposite way, and it has been for decades, in my opinion.
Agreed. And also, oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, I definitely think that their outrage is, oh, there it is. Their outrage is absolutely because they just haven't been challenged over the years on anything. And I'm sure that even the, you know, like the whole back to Colin Albert and the Advantage Boys things and Pull Up Bitch, like that to them was seems to be nothing. And that's, and you know, flipping the bird in their family photos with Julie and Chris Albert and Colin, those things, that's just so like gross. That's just,
Yeah.
I mean, not if that's that when it looks, it's not like those photos don't seem to be sort of muck around photos. That's the Albert salute rather than the Canton salute, you know. They seem to be just,
they
yeah,
sent it in a Christmas card, I bet. Okay, like that's their family newsletter, for Christ's sake, you know.
Oh my goodness, there you go. Wow. Yeah, wow. Have you, I presume you've watched Microdot's latest chilling creation?
I sure did. And I actually posted the clip, like a small clip, just to TikTok for my humans to go watch Microdots. That it is called, what is it? Look the Other Way, right? And
Yes.
I think for me, Miss Shorty, like, I've always had my own theories, right? But I am not a Mass State Police trooper. I am not Michael
Thank God.
Trump. Yeah, for Christ's sake.
God.
Thank Christ. Okay, I like my hair. All right, no, just kidding. But but you know, it was their job to figure out what happened, and I truly believe that there was not just a negligence situation where they thought it was Karen and they just stopped looking. This was 110% malfeasance at the least, right? And that they were pinning it on the girl. Like, we weren't ever going to be looking at anything else. And as somebody who, I have a history of, you know, I'm a medical professional, but I'm not a fucking detective. So what I can say is this, is that watching Microdots illustrate that together with the detail that was, made the actual hairs on my arm, they were standing straight up. And I felt like a pit in my stomach. I got like welled up, like, because my brain can think of the theory. Like, I can logistically and logically say, well, maybe this happened. But to see an actual like representation video of it, it like broke my heart all over again for Officer John O'Keefe and his family. And it was just chilling, like you said. It was really profound, in my opinion, to see it on a screen.
Yeah, I'm not a movies person. If you ask me, have you seen, I'll be like, no, I'm just not interested. I'm not into Hollywood, any of it. It's just like, it grinds my gears. And so also equally, generally I don't get caught up in cinematic sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I popped it on. I love all of Microdot's stuff, and I popped it on, and I was like I swear my eyeball, I was just like this on my phone, like just watching it. The hairs on my arms also standing up, just absolutely riveted. For me, the most incredible part, and I don't quite know why, was when the camera panned around in the kitchen and to the dumbbells in the sink, and then the bleach, the cleaning products next to it, the giant bag, the garbage bag full of what God knows whatever. Just incredible. So well. And also on another level thinking, how the hell does he know how to do this? I can't even work out StreamYard like shit.
Yeah. I love, well, like, and that's with all those details, right? So seeing at the window the representation of who was supposed to be Jennifer McCabe, and then having, sorry, that's what I do that for her. And then it, like when you were saying about the kitchen, right? Now I was thinking of Nicole forever, that she was cleaning up because the 21-year-old had a couple of friends over. But how like mind blowing was it for me? Just because I'm thinking as a mom, but then I'm like, wait a minute, it's a 21-year-old. He only had 2 friends over. It wasn't like she was cleaning up Play-Doh and stuff, you know, like she clearly like this, there was a reason. And I specifically went back in my brain saying, I remember her saying that she was cleaning until 2:30 in the morning. For what? And now I feel as though that theory really made sense to me.
Somebody, and I can't remember who it was, commented on X, Twitter, about that, going, I love you, Richie, mate, Microdots, but come on now. This is not like what, this is so far fetched. I'm like, hang on now. And it was a free Karen Reid type account, as far as I know. And I found that an incredible comment to make. Was it because there was that amazing soaring music, you know, that was so evocative, the score behind the video itself? Was it because that just made it a little too dramatic, that this whoever it was couldn't see beyond beyond that sort of magic of it all? I found that quite interesting. But yes, the cleaning thing always did pique my interest for Nicole. I mean, also I get the feeling that maybe poor Nicole doesn't do much of anything else other than drudgery and housework wife stuff. Like, just, she's the poor woman. I mean, I have a lot of empathy for her life situation and being with that Delight.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at the pictures of the girls, like, and I'm not trying to be fresh at all when I say this, since 2022, if you see a picture of Nicole, if you see a picture of Julie, I mean, they look like they've been, you know, through a tour in Iraq, or like that they were the president of the United States. You see it. And as women, I know for myself, I suffer from terrible anxiety, always have. Like, I'm just a very like nervous Nelly of a person, right? I can laugh about it, but there are times where it's like like I'm just like, oh, Kim, you're not dying. Like, I have to like tell myself, you're breathing, you're speaking, bitch. But you know, it makes me feel like they have been like, you know, just very worried and afraid for their families, not physically, but of what's coming down the pike, right? What's on the horizon of what we believe did actually occur.
Living with dread and guilt and like, it can only turn inward, that stuff, because it can't go outward. Like they have to keep it within their finite circle, and not just not only, obviously, not only the tragic and awful and like preventable murder of Officer John O'Keefe, but also, like, obviously, hello, framing Karen Reid. I presume also those, like, not to diminish it in any way, but relatively small decisions of what happened in that house, just turn of events that maybe 30 seconds shit went down. And then the decisions you're making, God knows that my life has gone on paths, not murder, but life has gone on paths because of decisions I've made with kind of split second stuff, universe with a gun to my head, and then having to look back and go, well, fuck, that's fantastic, but you can't turn back time. So they've got framing Karen Reid, and now look at, imagine the groundswell of worldwide support, movement, and love and positive energy, like, just flowing out to Karen Reid and her family, and to, I mean, yes, the O'Keefes also, but they're kind of trying to shoot that one in the foot. To be, if we think about good and evil, to think we're all the good ones and they're the evil ones. And I do think there's a whole lot of concentration of evil in that McAlbert group. They must be like the Wicked the Witch of the West, like just melting under the bright light of love and truth that's shining down on them from around the world. No.
Yeah, I think that, their worlds, in how I would interpret it, had been kind of closing in clearly right after January 29th, 2022. They had to make that circle smaller because they can only speak to certain people regarding anything. There's a fear of, can I trust? They can only trust the circle of trust, right? That's it, that they're in, and that's your family only, right? And it's not the women, other than, in my humble opinion, Jennifer McCabe, right? I think that she was guilty as it relates to, like, cleaning up, right? Like, the figuring out how we're gonna figure this out. But the other girls, they didn't, they're just their husbands, their sons, their whatever. You're just there as a partner and trying to, I don't think those girls had anything to do with anything that ever happened to Officer O'Keefe.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I mean, Jen McCabe realistically, allegedly, fuck it, realistically was integral in his murder, in him dying. The hostlong to die in cold says it all. I feel like with zero respect to Brian Albert and Brian Higgins, like, they're dumb as dog shit. They're not going to think of that. And I do feel like a manipulator and a well, let's say a sociopath, like I think that Jen McCabe is. She was the brains behind it all, in my opinion. And I also think that she's been spearheading the entire social media, Twitter troll campaign all along the way. And it can only be exhausting. It can only be exhausting to be running all that. The interesting, as far as their appearance, Nicole Albert and Julie Albert. Julie Albert lost a lot of weight in those 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
She sure did. I don't know if that was Ozempic or if that was, just a nervous. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully not an actual, like, bad situation medically, but I'm stressed sometimes. I eat when I'm stressed. Some people have, like, I haven't eaten since this morning. And I'm like this. Help me, God, I need a snack. I'm like, I need a gummy bear. Like, I'm unwell. I'm a stress eater, but I know that it goes one way or another,
Absolutely. Yeah, I full disclosure, when I'm stressed, I'm like, God, I miss drugs, but damn it, I can't afford drugs. So I like, I'm very open about that. Like, poor life choices were made thanks to drugs, and here I am now being a proper YouTuber. But probably a couple of times a day, I'm like, fuck, I really miss drugs, damn adulting and stuff. So anyway,
but look at you now, babe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at, you're here just streaming your stream of consciousness as a beautiful, wonderful woman that you are. And, that would be fun for a night, but tomorrow you'd be like, shit, now I have no money, or whatever.
Well, those poor choices I made in my past did very much be linked to drugs. So there's that. Now I have to be like all adulty and shit and be responsible. And it's a tough gig sometimes, but here we are. So you read the David Yanetti's or have heard of Yanetti's response today to the Commonwealth motion?
I sure have. And isn't he just the gift that keeps on giving, Miss Shorty? Okay. Like, David Yanetti, and I always say this with all due respect to Mrs. Yanetti, there's something about Yanetti, baby. All right. It's the dimples. He's talking outside the courtroom. And I'm like, tell me everything. Okay.
So wait, hold that thought.
Yes.
Kim. Where's the hierarchy with Mr. Bederow and David Yanetti? That's a tough choice.
Ooh. Okay. Well, can they be tied? Can they be tied as my tops? Because absolutely. Well, no, I think Mr. Bederow has to win because I I don't know. That's too hard. That's so hard on the spot, Miss Shorty. But Mr. Yanetti is a dreamboat, okay? And he could tell me when he was talking to me, he wasn't talking to me, okay? He's talking to actually Turtle Boy outside Norfolk Superior when it was the Lucky Laughran, and it was the whole situation of that he was at the school where Courtney worked, etc. That he was doing, his prepping of Lucky. And he was like, has Lucky changed his story at all? And he was like, not one bit. And I was like, woo! I was like, Mr. Yanetti, what are we doing? I can't with him. He is everything. And his response was incredible. It was incredible because the Commonwealth has now acknowledged in their own court filing that a juror has reached out, well, 4, but 3 via three via email, 1 via call, right?
Yeah.
And that they have confirmed that that count 1 she was acquitted on, and count 3 she was acquitted on, and that it was only on count 2 one of the lesser included. So the right thing that Mr. Yanetti is requesting, and so is Alan Jackson and Liza, is that there is a dismissal of counts 1 and counts 3. I mean, the whole thing should be dismissed because we all know. But, if they were going to be doing any justice or participating in looking to getting to the truth of what happened to Officer John O'Keefe on January 29th, 2022, then do the right thing. And if you're not, if you're just talking ragtime, if you're all just bullshit and you want to keep blowing smoke up everyone's ass, then you recharge her on all 3, I think.
What about then the revelations that after all the poo-pooing of the Commonwealth saying that that this was all hype, that the defense team was hyping shit up, and that there'd been no contact by jurors, and how can we know this is true and it's questionable and suspect, to suddenly now, well, actually they contacted us too.
Yeah, and weeks ago. How shameful is that, Miss Shorty, right? That we're looking at this and that it has been 2 weeks since a juror or more has reached out to you, and this is when you decided to make a response. You piece of garbage. You meatball loving mother friggers over in Norfolk Superior, okay? Michael Meatball Morrissey is a sneeze away from a cardiac event, and I'm not shitting you. Like, every time I look at him, I'm like, the man needs Lasix. He also needs to have a no added salt diet. He makes me very uncomfortable medically. But he's an asshole, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And the audacity to continue to do fundraising events, and they have no shame, these people. I just think, I wonder what's in the water in Norfolk County, because what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about Morrissey, though, specifically, like Lally is, like, to me, just kind of a tool, like, right? And I don't mean that as he's a tool. I mean, like, he's literally like, well, but both, a double entendre, right? But like, he's just the means to an end, right? He got it, and he's like just going through the motions, literally, right? But Morrissey, there has been so much, Miss Shorty. I mean, I don't know if you know all the way back to like the Mass State Crime Lab, what happened with the it was Sonia Farrock and Annie Dukin, right? She was like planting coke and like other drug evidence for the DAs and sending them like emails because they said, I need this to be positive for whatever substance. And there was 10,000 cases that were affected by this because this lab signed, you know what I mean? Like, and this, and she took the fall, babes. What did she do? They fucking pinned it on the girl then too. So she was just trying to get in the good graces of the Norfolk, the DA, and his other, the other lawyers. And she was the one who took all of the brunt, and nobody else paid the consequences for that, just her.
I mean, misogynist anybody. Like they
Yep.
just, it's horrifying. So then where do you think that Helena Rafferty fits into all of that? Do you think she's part of the toolbox? Or yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think she's mostly the toolbox. I think she's also, though, they might have stuff. I don't know. I think her and Berkey, if I were to be honest, right? I think that there was a little casting couch, or a little, you know what I mean? A little, a little, a little stroking of egos, if you will, for her to get the job that she finally got, for her to become the chief. And I think that she knows where the bodies are buried, and that she is not changing the wheel. She's not going to do any, she doesn't want to make any waves, and just will go along to get along. But when we read that, I read the court filing, the civil suit that came from Jack and Diane.
Yes.
Or not Jack and Diane. What's his a little ditty about, what was that? What's the man's name who she hit? I can't think of it right now. Mr. Barry. I don't know. But him and his wife filed that suit in June against Helena, and it's only against Helena right now. I'm very interested to see if it will go to Canton Police Department, and if there will be a town of Canton, because she was in her cruiser when she hit him in the Rentham crosswalk in the middle of the day. But then randomly, who administered that breathalyzer to her when she struck the pedestrian in February of 2024, and that she didn't report to anybody until Turtle Boy broke the news? And then she's like, yeah, I did do that. And we're really transparent here.
And there's no ramifications for that. Like, she just had her contract renewed for another 12 months. So this is horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a theme. It's definitely a theme. Yeah.
Well, and that's very interesting. With True Crime Kangaroo just said now that she's yesterday, right, or 24 hours ago, it's been at least whatever since she put the house up on the market. Well, babes, we've got some info here, because it's all public record, right? So yes. I go, all right, she's selling the house for 1.795, which is, nothing to sneeze at. But if you look at her history for what her mortgages are, she's got an $800,000 mortgage and a $440,000 mortgage, which just were opened in November of 2023. So she owes 1.2 on that house. Babe, how did she get a $1.2 million mortgage loan?
Because that sounds like a lot more than water bottles and driveways, doesn't it?
It sure does. And the ex-husband, we know, is the chief of the fire department, but he only pays $1,200 in his spousal support and his child support, because their kids are older. So, she's only one person with a 10,000 square foot house, 8 bathrooms. I'd be pissing in one toilet every time I had to urinate. I'd be like, I'm popping a squat over here, I'm going over there. What are we doing? Why do you need that big of a house? It's a mansion.
Yeah, wow.
For a public servant.
So much to clean. I don't think I could be bothered with that.
Oh, well, she's probably got my listen. Maybe Berkey hooked her up with a house cleaner. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Horrifying. So they're doing all the things. Yanetti's come back and said, we're calling again for this to be official. You need to dismiss. So this coming Friday, we're back in court.
Yes, love.
What do you think's going to happen? Or how do you think? I think we all know what's going to happen. Yeah. How do you think Auntie Bev will go about implementing,
shutting it all down? So here's the thing, is she's going to listen to it, right? Because she has to have some sort of semblance that she is a normal human being. So she's going to have to hear it all. I know that Marty is going to be the one who argues this as our appellate lawyer, yes. Our new teammate who we love. So he's going to get up, he's going to argue. And in my opinion, I think he's going to have a wonderful he's going to have a wonderful case. We've read all the filings. We know exactly what this is, that all these jurors, juror A, juror B, juror C, juror, give me the D, and juror E, have all come out, and they have all said she was acquitted on 1 and 3. We feel so guilty, basically. Sorry, we were just hung up on 2. And, you know, I think that it may work into Karen's advantage, in my humble opinion, that it's going to be Marty who is the one arguing this. Because why? She can't fix her face with Yanetti or Jackson. She can't. She cannot. She's huffing, she's puffing, she's blowing all the houses down. And she is going to, I think, hear it more clearly when it's coming from the appellate lawyer. Is anything going to happen? Absolutely not. I think that she is going to say that it's denied. The motion will be denied. She, in my opinion, I mean, there could be a miracle, babes. She could be touched by Jesus, and maybe she dismisses a count. But I don't see it. But how I've heard from Attorney Bederow, my friend, Mr. Mark Bederow, stop it. And I DM'd him, and oh gosh, I'll talk to you later about that. Stop. So, but I think that she will keep everything as is, and it would make sense. It would behoove the Lally to drop count 1 and count 3. But, you know, will he? Probably not.
I've heard it was back when the revelations first became apparent about there actually being the not guilty on 1 and 3 and the medium bit. And I don't know if you ever have watched Ian Runkle of the Bailey, who's a Canadian. Yes. So he was saying, like, on its face, it would be helpful for the defense to have those 2 charges dismissed and just go in with count 2, you'd think. But then he also said that problem is with that in presenting just the manslaughter case, the Commonwealth cuts out all of the Aruba bitches and all of the snowing. Oh no, not all the snowing, but a lot of the noise around it. All of the 78 witnesses, it pares it right down. And if the jury was actually, well, they were split hung on those second counts and the lesser includeds, then without all of the noise and the stuff on sort of the scandalous stuff, it actually possibly could end up that the jury finds guilty on manslaughter. And as we've just found out with Ashley Benefield, that can be quite the time in prison. So it might almost be, from Karen's point of view, better to still go to trial round 2 with all 3 charges, from what I understand, based on that. I guess I'll qualify all of that with, if they can, when they have spoken to crash daddies and got a better idea of their testimony, as in the defense team, then they can make that even more of a slam dunk. Because honestly, at the end of the day, I don't understand how that jury, if no car hit John, and if John wasn't hit by a car, period, full stop, then none of it happened.
There is no case. Yes. Against Karen. Yes.
So I don't, the only thing for me that maybe it was is that they felt like they should bring some sort of charge, the jury.
Yeah. Now, and there's a huge thing. Miss Shorty, have you ever been to Massachusetts? Have you ever been home?
Do you know, I haven't been back, but I did live my first 3 years there. So yes, in Needham. I lived in Needham for
lovely.
I know, right?
Oh, I love that. I was born in Waltham Western Hospital, so I know I know where Needham is. And you know, I think it was really difficult for the jury, and that if they didn't really know anything from the background that, like, we know, right? Like pre-trial stuff and whatever, and hearing Lally talk for 8 weeks, right? 7.5 weeks is just straight Lallying, right? Through his witnesses, and then the defense put up 6, right? So hearing everything, seeing Mrs. O'Keefe, you know, distraught, seeing Paul and Aaron there every day, and then the stunt that was pulled on closing arguments to have Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Jennifer McCabe go sit with the family, I think sent a clear and present signal to that jury that we believe that these people are wonderful, right? Like that they're on our team and that Karen is the piece of actual garbage. And she was the one who hurt and ended my brother's life. Well, in Massachusetts, we are very law enforcement. We're pro law enforcement. My father is a retired Massachusetts police officer. And I think that a lot of residents, and especially in an older generations, cannot wrap their heads around corruption being that heinous, right? Like they might hear it, but they might say, well, that doesn't really make sense, but not everybody would do that. There's no way that all these people, but I don't think it was kind of wrapped up together that it wasn't everybody, babes. What it was there was these characters, okay? And when Proctor got involved, then everybody else just fell in line because they just said, I took his word for it and I'm doing what he says, because we hid behind the blue wall and we protect our own and we don't give a shit. We're looking the other way, right? Mm-hmm. So I just think that the jury didn't want Officer John O'Keefe's life to not have justice for his family. Like I think that they were trying to reconcile, and for them to get a 9-3, it blew my mind. Like blew my mind that 9 people thought that Karen, unintentionally struck him with her vehicle, when Crash Daddies told us he wasn't hit by a vehicle. But I think that everybody was trying to work through their emotions of it all as best as they could. But then the 3 holdouts said, I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm not putting her behind bars for her life for a crime that, we don't believe that she committed.
Speaking of the clear intimidation that presented to the jury with the McAlberts, those 3 or 4, Kerry Roberts as well. Yeah. I don't know if she's intimidating, but she was there, being there. And then when you realize that Lally / the Commonwealth told that one or however many juror that, honestly, if you want to push this, I can't guarantee that your identity will remain a secret or impounded. So what are your thoughts, Kim, on whether that in itself is some kind of intimidation against those jurors, which is just horrendous, or juror intimidation?
Yeah, I was shocked. So I read that like 3 times, right? Because I was out of my tits over Judge Cannoni doing the impoundment on July 18th, right? So we knew it was a 10-day impoundment, right? As soon as we got out of, or she did an extension or whatever it was for the 10 days. Then she ends up saying to infinity and beyond. We're Buzz Lightyear in this, right? And we are forever impounding this jury. And if you want to reach out to the media, then you absolutely can. Go for it, boo. But I'm going to protect you because that's what I do. How shady, how despicable that, sorry, Nick, how despicable for the DA's office to try to make them nervous that their anonymity would not be kept, when we know damn right well that the court, the prosecution, and the defense do not need to name any jurors, i.e., when we look at the filings from Alan Jackson of A through E for jurors. So I just thought that was so cringe, and it's fucked up. And I know, sorry guys, pardon my French.
No, French away. We French.
I try not to French. I'm so because I'm a lady and I shouldn't. I French on TikTok a lot. And it's not for everyone. I can't help it. I'm sorry. It's how I express, if I'm passionate or I have emotions, it's just like me saying, and I throw an F in, right? So that's what I think about it. And I think that Marty will be able to bring that up when he does his hearing next Friday, right? To say, when we're looking through this documentation from the response from the Commonwealth, they are telling the jurors, after they've been reached out to, that like now, oh, there's a possibility that you're going to be doxxed by the DA's office. Get out of here.
It puts the juror Doe's concerns into a whole new light, that maybe that concern was nothing to do with Aiden, Turtle Boy, or us mob-like pink shirt people, but actually the concern was that they're concerned that their identity will be revealed by the Commonwealth, in which that's just so disgusting, and it really does change how you view juror Doe's affidavit or whatever it was.
Yeah, totally. So, and
Why?
listen, I didn't want to, even when juror Doe's even when that came out, I felt terrible. You know what I mean? I was like, I never want anybody to feel afraid or scared for their family or for themselves after they did their civic duty. Get the hell out of here. Like, you know, that is, your feelings are valid, boo, and we support you. And I don't need you to feel like you are not going to be protected, or, you know, that somebody would hurt you related to you sitting on a jury is deranged, right? But like you're saying, now this kind of gives a credence to say, how would they feel that way? And now we know also that in juror Doe's, she said that when the bus got to where it dropped them off at their location, like their private area, that there was media there, right? So who could have leaked that, Miss Shorty? Who could have leaked it? It couldn't have been anybody from the defense side. It only would have been able to come from someone inside the court, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there is that whole Fanning connection also, who was in
Holy
charge
moly.
of getting all their background checks and stuff in order. So he knows everything about all of them. He also happens to be a key player in that whole group of horrible people. And he knows where they're going at the end of the day because he's escorting them to and from court. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Yeah, I just think you cannot make this shit up, Nurse Kim. It's just absolutely.
And every day I say to myself, I go, this shit can't get any wilder, right? Like, and then I say, like, hold my beer, right? Because here we go. Something else comes, and I go, we live on another. I'm an extraterrestrial. Call me ET, bitch. At this point, right? I'm like, I need to phone home. Get me out of here. I can't handle it. I'm like, this is so abnormal. The fuckery is off the charts every day. And it just seems to me that, like, how my brain works, and I'm like, okay, well, this is the logical next step. And then the Commonwealth goes, like, if I think we should go at 3:00, the Commonwealth is like 9:00 all day. And I like, we couldn't be any further apart, right? From like where the thought process is for me.
It's being on the other side of the planet. It makes it all the more surreal too. It's so hard to stay grounded in this being real world, real people, real consequences, real emotions, when it's nothing about it seems fucking real. It's wild.
Yeah.
But I guess for you you're still in Massachusetts.
Yes, I'm still, I am still, I go down between, my dad is in South Carolina. He's coming back up. But he has a house there, and then back home in Massachusetts. So it is, I go down and hang out there for a while, but then I also, because I work, I'm remote now, so it's great. But the girls are going to be going back to school. I have 13 and 14-year-old daughters now.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
this is why you're
oh, I'm always out of my mind. What, are you kidding me? And now these broads, they're like, you know, they're like ultimate fighters with one another, like over a shirt or over anything. I mean, they call each other names. I'm like, love each other, be kind to each other. And then they're like, Mom, you've got a pimple. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I drive them everywhere. They drive me crazy. And that's it. That's what my life is today.
So they're Irish twins, are they?
They're 10 months apart. I had Mia in February of 2010. And then I had Livy in December of 2010, the same year.
Wow.
So
You've always had your hands full there then.
Oh,
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a foreigner's question then? You know how that was, so I was under the impression, based on my parents' stories of our time living in both Canada and then Massachusetts, Boston, that kind of snow on that night is regular and not actually that noteworthy. But is it actually not that often that you get snow up to your sort of knees or whatever through winter? How does that work? Tell us.
No, we do. It depends on the winter, right? Like some winters we have a good winter, right? That you only have like one or two blizzards that bring you, 18 inches or 2 feet of snow. But they're like, for like when my girls were just born, we had literally every week. Guys, remember 2011? It was every single friggin' week. We were in an El Nino and it was like between 18 and 28 inches every goddamn week. I was like, I'm in an igloo, bitch. I could not find my way out. I mean, like it was shoveling, plowing, doing everything. And it's just aggressive. Some winters are better than others, but on average, I think we get like, I don't know, 70 or 80 or 90 inches of snow. So like, yes, for us to get, no, that's like for January and February, because we don't get any in March. So like usually 2 months we'll get like a lot, but we'll get a big banger, maybe 2 or 3 times in a season if it's a low storm season. But then if it's a high one, you could get 9 or 10 of them. So here is what I want to say though, right, Miss Shorty, is that Julie Albert was out getting fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, no.
So and you're going to tell me that everybody, like the Commonwealth Rally, the snow. There was 7, 10, 12 a foot. It was freaking 2 inches. It had just started and everyone was out drinking the night before. Like Floridians, I've learned, I am so afraid of hurricanes because I've never grown up in one. The only one that I remember was like we had one in 1991. And I was on the Cape with like my aunt, but I don't really recall it. But we get snow events. We drive in snow. We're out. We're doing anything. Like unless your generator needs to come on, you're fine. Everyone's good. Nothing closes down. Dunks is fucking open, and so is a package store for you to get some alcohol. Okay, you're fine.
So there's literally, and if she was getting donuts and coffee and planning to leave it in his car, I don't like. How is that even a good story? I'm speechless, and that doesn't happen often. Like it was just like, but no.
And then he just called her in and said, "You need to come in," and she didn't want to.
Remember that was Freudian slip. Why? It's just aren't you coming to a family like your nephew's birthday? Why not?
Right.
Yeah. Wow. I back snow talk. I can't fathom the fact that you guys have in Massachusetts have that extremes in weather. From summer to winter, it's like we in Melbourne in Australia, all of Australia, but we have extremely hot summers, extremely hot, and we have cold winters. Like when I first moved to Melbourne, I'd never seen frost on my windscreen before, and now it's a regular thing in the mornings. Melbourne is one of the most southern parts of Australia. It's just fascinating to me that I think we're about the same. Australia, where I am and where you guys are on the earth, on the planet, I feel like we're at the same kind of level in terms of north and south. It's just crazy to me that you get all that, and that it can go from hot summers to knee deep in snow in every 12 months. That's absolutely Mind blowing.
Yeah, the Northeast, that's like so like the four seasons, right? Like we get every single one of them. And that's why we all have seasonal affective disorder. Okay.
Yes.
Because it
So
is
another question on that then. So then in the dead of winter, the shortest day, when does the sun rise and set? Sorry guys, weather talk. Love weather. I'm a weather nerd.
yeah, so like it's dark when the kid well, okay, so like it's dark till I don't know exactly, probably like 7 something in the morning, and then it's dark by 3:30 in the so we don't maybe 7 hours of sunlight for the shortest day, guys. Is that right? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay. Interesting. And then in summer, obviously your longest days are longer.
Oh yeah. So we're like 5 o'clock, like 5 something in the morning, and then it will get late. I mean, the sun will go down like by like right at 9 o'clock. So that's a long day for us.
So again, another question to do with the winter, like, because I'm a road traffic controller in my real world, so I stand out on the road and like manage cars and stuff. And when it's my coldest day, I'm thinking this is not very pleasant, but we can be out there and we can be working. How do they get things done in cold climates like yours in terms of like road stuff, outdoor stuff, trade things, fixing things, building things, just in certain periods of the year? Is that all that can be done?
Yeah. So so all of our road work happens and this is a clusterfuck of unknown proportion, which has been since the dawn of time in Massachusetts, right? So all of our highways, 95, whatever it is, all of our roads are done in the spring and in the summer, and it'll go into the fall too. You can do 3 out of 4 seasons. It's just in the winter that they can't. But they do most of it in the summer. And when is it? When we want to be traveling, right? To get either people are going to New Hampshire, to Maine, down to the Cape. And so in the height of all of us wanting to get the out of Dodge, they are doing all of the road work to get things done and paved for the year. And then there's nothing in the winters.
Goodness, God, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you've got good heating and stuff in your house then?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. My old house had oil, and at the time it was so bad because I don't remember like the price per gallon, but it was costing me like $700 to fill up. And this is like years ago, guys. Now I have natural gas, but it was like $700, and I was filling it every 2 weeks, and I was really stressed out that winter. That was like 2013 was a really bad winter for me, because I was just spending a ton of money. But natural gas is great. And I know that some of our homes, like my mother always has she has electric, so that sucks, but she only has a little ranch, right? So it only has to do like, it only had to
small area
one, you know what I mean? So that's not that bad, but yeah, it's very interesting. So most of us have like central, well, no, that's not true, because a lot of us still have like box air conditioners. But if you have central heat and central air, I do now, thank you, Jesus. But it is a lifesaver.
And meanwhile, Paul O'Keefe's crotch is just telling you his temperature right now in Florida. Is that humid there, Crotchy? It's humid in Florida. No? That's a hot one. Goodness. Do you have big things planned for your TikTok? Do you I don't do TikTok. It's like I'm way too Gen X for that shit, and it confuses me. But I know that if there was any draw card to get rid of TikTok, it would be you, Nurse Kim. And I love when you put your stuff up on the Twitter, because then I can enjoy it without having to be immersed in TikTok. But tell the folks what you got going on there.
Yeah, so I just am talking shit, guys. I am presenting. I do trials. Like I do the Karen Reed trial. I did the Maya Kowalski trial. I did Harmony Montgomery. She was a little girl from New Hampshire.
Yes.
and it like killed that case. I can't do kids anymore, guys. We're not going to be doing kids because Nurse Kim needed to take about 2 weeks off afterwards because I was emotionally wrecked. But I just talk on the TikTok. I make videos and then I do lives. I'm going to be more consistent with my lives. I just hadn't, kind of, I want to give my humans a little bit more of we know that Kim's going to be on instead of an impromptu, because then I just pull right on up, and they're like, bitch, I missed it. And I also, in a shocking twist of events, I've been very agitated with TikTok because there is a lot of stealing of my IP. And I have a friend, Dave Cullinane, who him and I do like a live show together. And we were doing that during the trial. And like there are creators though that like can take my voice, my actual voice, and just like put it on something else and not even say, hey, that's Nurse Kim's voice in case you want to go check out her stuff. Like they just take it as their IP and then they get paid off of it. And it enrages me. Yeah.
Wow. That's disgusting.
And I've reported it. All of my humans have reported it. And like, there's just nothing I can do. They say, F you, Nurse Kim. So what I've done is I have, that if you guys see me on YouTube, that's my YouTube, guys. And I'm so scared, but I do have something that's going to be happening on YouTube. Are you guys emotionally prepared right now? So
yeah, the chat was asking before, they're saying we need to petition Nurse Kim to have a YouTube. So you have a YouTube. This is very exciting.
So I got a StreamYard. I'm panicked, but I talked to Sean, Mr. McDonough, and he told me, like, if he can figure it out, I can figure it out, right? Not really.
Same.
Not
Same.
really.
Here I am doing it. Yes.
Like, I'm just so nervous, though, like, because it's just so different than me for TikTok, but I've played around in the background studio enough that I feel comfortable. And I had privately DM'd Mr. Attorney Mr Bederow. I shot my shot, guys. I did it. I Kobe'd it. Okay. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I was like, but would you ever be willing to come onto a TikTok with me or maybe on a YouTube? And he said, of course, Kim. Stop. So I was verklempt. I also told him like not to be a weirdo, but like I didn't have to write. I'm trying to keep it cool. But you've made my day. But I wrote it, Miss Shorty, because I'm a dork. So anywho, he is totally down. And I just have to like figure out, him and I are going to coordinate a day. But guys, it might be this weekend. I'm going to see if I could get him to like maybe do like a Sunday special, but I'll put it on X and I'll tell the world because it's big doings. So we're going to be doing that. And then also Miss Rita Lombardi from Canton. I emailed her and I just said, hey, boo. Not really. I said, Miss Lombardi, I'm very impressed by you. And I know that you're speaking up for your town. And I just wanted to know if I could help get the word out. And she was willing to come on for next week too. And then the only other thing that we have going on is that me and Dave are going to do a once a week on YouTube. And it's going to be Nurse Kim. I got first billing, babes. Nurse Kim and Dave live. And I'll put that out too. Because he comes back from vacation on Saturday. And I told him that I've been working hard for the both of us for the last 2 weeks. So when he gets home, he can start doing the work. And he's just my friend. He lives in Stoughton. So, but like, so I'm super excited, but I need to diversify the platform, guys, because I have, I am so thankful every day for my community over on TikTok. I think I have like 58,000 my humans, my lovies in my community. And if any of them would like to follow me over into YouTube, I would very much appreciate it, because then we would be able to, and I'll always keep my TikTok, but like to have somewhere that I know that like that my property is my property,
Absolutely. Well, that's so exciting. You will have throngs of people coming over to be subscribers. I'm sure.
And I want you to come on. I would love to, if you have time, Miss Shorty, if you would ever want to be a guest, I would love to have you on my channel.
It would be an honor, and I completely understand you fangirling for Bederow. I think I said the same thing to you when I DM'd you on Twitter, and I was like, I'm like, I really got to ease up on the exclamation points at the end of every sentence, but I was like emojis and very exciting. So yes,
when I wrote him, it was so obnoxious. Like, because you know me, I was like, I'm so sorry to bother you. You might not even see this. I was like, hope you're well. Like, I'm like, what the fuck are you writing, Kim? And then I was like, is it possible that you may ever be interested? Like, like, just say it. Say what you're trying to spit it out broad. But I did. I finally did. And he responded like in 4 minutes. I was like, who do I think I am right now? A big deal. Okay. That he answered, he answered me.
I think maybe he understands the value in reciprocating to his number one fan. Like, obviously you make him blush every time you get on there and gush over him. It's so cute.
You know what? So, but like, I just want to take notes from him. Like, you know how like when someone is so smart and you're just like, I want to just like drink your knowledge. Like, that's how I feel with him, is that like, you know, and also to hear Kevin Linehan, which I know that it's almost sacrilegious to speak of him on your channel or anyone's, but when Kevin thought that he was going to say that my friend, Mr. Attorney Mark Bederow, like does the 10 drunks in a bar sentence, I want to put my hair up, take off my earrings, and put on some fucking Adidas shell toes, and I'll show you what's up, my guy. Okay, if you wanna have me channel my Alberts, keep talking about my Mr. Attorney Mark Bederow, you rude asshat who doesn't even like have anything going for you, and you're gonna talk about a world-renowned criminal attorney who has done more good in this world than most people in his pinky. Fuck off. Sorry.
And he's also just such a lovely, it's so offensive. He's just such a human. So offensive when they bring him down, but it's pretty standard for those folks to do that. That's all they've got. People are asking, so what's your actual YouTube handle, address, channel? Is it called Nurse Kim and Dave? What's the actual handle on YouTube? Hello? Oh, we're breaking out. We're breaking down. I think you're frozen, Nurse Kim. Ooh. Oh, wait. Oh, hi, everyone. While Kim's maybe going out and coming back in, am I frozen or am I good, guys? I'm good, yeah. I thought I might, am I a robot? Chat, give me I'm good? Okay, thank you. Triggering from last week. So, thank you, Sarah. So this, I don't know if you've seen this. Oh, God, I'm on. So this is my, oh, God, it's opposite. Sorry, I'm new to this shit. These are my bumper stickers that I have printed off 200 of them. 200 of them, so limited edition. I did the artwork. Oh, no, I did on Canva. And so I have 200 of them printed off, and I've got some envelopes ordered to send them out, pink envelopes, of course. And Sherry, I'll talk about my shirt in a second. So basically the way it's going to work is when I've got all the envelopes and all the cards ready to send these bad boys out, I will send out in batches to people in the US because it's very costly for me to post from Australia individually. So basically the way it's going to work is that if you make a direct donation to Karen's Defense Fund, so I'm pretty sure Sarah's been popping it in the chat, but there's a link there. Once it's all up and running, I mean, you can do it now if you want, but a minimum of $10 donation to Karen's Defense Fund, and you'll send me the receipt, and then you'll be able to get one of these bad boys, limited edition. If you'd like more than one, so it's only one entry per person, one donation. But if you want more than one sticker, I think I'm going to make it that you can make perhaps a $50 donation for 2 stickers. And if you want 3 stickers, maybe $100 donation. I haven't worked out those logistics yet. I don't know how fair I need to be, or how greedy people are for them. If they're highly sought after, then I guess I can make it quite a high price. But basically, send me the receipt and your mailing address, and you'll be able to get yourself one of these limited edition free Karen Reid bumper stickers. They're beautiful quality, glossy. The colors are pretty good. Pretty stoked with it. So I'm wearing all the costs for that. So I'm not touching any of the money. Obviously, the donations will go straight to Karen's Defence Fund. Yes, Sherry, $10 for one sticker. So I'm wearing all the costs of postage and all of that, and doing all the work. So, but theoretically, if all stickers are sold and everybody only wants one, that's a minimum of $2,000 for Karen's Defence Fund. If people want to donate more, you can, and if you're able to, then obviously it's going to be a bigger donation. So that's an initiative that I thought, when the popcorn thing went down, the whole popcorn fundraiser debacle, I had a thought that I'd made that logo anyway, and then someone on one of the justice groups said to me, "Oh my goodness, I'd love that as a sticker," and the wheels started turning. So I may well need more than 200 FUBAR, but the outlay, I had to just do a run, and I wasn't sure of the quality of the colors, the trueness of the colors, or any of that. So I just thought I'd start with 200 and see how we go from there. So Nurse Kim's messaged me, and she said she got booted out, and we saw her freeze up there. So I guess maybe we might call it. Has anybody got any questions for me other than my shirt? Sherry, was that you asking about my shirt? So I'll drop a link to this shirt in after the stream has ended. It's basically, I'm sure lots of you know, the shaming of Jay shaming on Jaybo Nation. So during the Alex Murdoch trial, it became apparent to all who watched, but particularly to Jay when his channel was only new, that in South Carolina, at least, where we might say bro, or I don't know, other words, terms of endearment. In Australia, we'd say cuz, like cousin. That in South Carolina, they call each other Bo. And I think it was when Alec Murdoch approached, was it Tinsley, in at a party to say, "Hey, Bo." So that's why it's Jaybo Nation. So there's Hey Bo t-shirts, and this is Baby Bo, and that's the story behind the t-shirt. But I'll drop a link in afterwards. Is the color bleach pink of my shirt? I don't know, Glenn. I don't know. Does anyone have any questions for me? Jaybo Nation, yes, Sherry. So the exciting thing, I guess, for my channel, if you're interested to know, that I'm a shorty who makes shorts. Yeah, most of my channel was previously built on creating shorts, reels. So that's why I'm short, and I made shorts. So now that's why this channel is called Miss Shorty. And I got many of the subscribers and views, but the viewing hours was causing me some issue. Since I've started doing long form content, like proper interviews, like being a proper YouTuber, I'm so close now to being able to be eligible for memberships and super chats and stuff. So my grift game is about to really level up here. I'm already a proclaimed, not self-proclaimed, but it's being said that I'm a clout chaser. That's fine. Let's add grifter to that list as well. So that's exciting. So if you all can share this episode out, that'd be amazing. Or any of my stuff, to encourage people to watch it. I'm only a few hundred hours away from being eligible for memberships. Ernie, Birdie, Miss Aaron, I'd say we'll do another addiction show. Yes. Tomorrow is Miss Grifty. Yes, Jen, lol. That's me, Miss Grifty. Glenn, somebody did tell me I was a proper YouTuber. God, like I really am. I like to think so. Not me with my iPhone here as my camera and my StreamYard thing on a shitty, like unstable tripod. We'll sort it. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I love that you all were here and having a fun time. Isn't Nurse Kim just the most beautiful delight ever? She's amazing. When I'll get her to shoot me her YouTube handle, and I'll drop it in the description box of this video once we've ended the stream. Lily, True Crime Kangaroo, you're talking to Sean on the golf tomorrow. Yes, 5 p.m. US time. Am I right? No. Drop it in the chat. Info for the stickers, Sherry. I'll get more details out. I don't want to put any like actual let's start this thing now until I've got the envelopes to be able to send them out and send the batches out to the US. So it'll be to me, it'll be DM on Twitter or Messenger or whatever, just or a screenshot and tag me on Twitter and I'll be able to see it. Okay, so 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, True Crime Kangaroo is going to be talking to Sean on the golf. So that's exciting. I can't wait for that. And then I'm doing a solo stream tomorrow, just me, 7:30 p.m. US time, 9:30 a.m. tomorrow in Australia, just talking about some pretty topical stuff, domestic abuse, domestic violence, and coercive control. So come along for that if you want to have a spirited discussion, a safe place to chat, all of the above, ask questions. And then next week, it's been confirmed that next Saturday night, you guys' time, so this same, Saturday night, confusing time zones, I'm going to be, Mazza and Katie Smith are going to be joining me in the house next Saturday night, time to be confirmed. So, Ernie, yes, make sure your notification's on, and you know I'll be bloody ramming it down your throat every which way, so, crotchy, lol. All right, thank you everybody so much. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, obviously, share the stream, watch it a few times just to get my hours up, and love you all. Peace out, everybody. Thank you, mods, Sarah, Nick, everybody. Jess, I'll sort yours soon, okay? Mwah. Have a great night. Bye.